Aries, this is your week ahead astrology forecast for the next week. So we're going from March, I have it written in my little book right here, March 16th to the 22nd. Now, there's a lot of big things that happen for you guys this week, and we're going to go step by step. Aries, I'm going to, throughout the course of this video, go over all the major planetary transits and aspects that are going to be particularly impacting your natal suns. How do I know where your natal suns are? I don't. You do. And so if your natal sun is between 0 and 10 degrees Aries, I'm going to call you guys Aries 1. You are in the first decant or group of 10 degrees of Aries. And if your natal sun is somewhere between 10 and 20 degrees Aries, you're going to be decant 2, Aries 2. And if you guys, and who have your natal sun, those of you who have your natal sun between 20 and 30 degrees Aries, you are going to be Aries 3 because your natal suns are in the third decant of Aries. So I'll try to give you dates if I can, be very specific, but I will say this to you, Aries 1, those of you who are born in the beginning of Aries season, or basically Aries who are born in March, especially those of you who are born like the March 22nd, 23rd, 24th, right on the cusp of Pisces energy, it's going to be a huge week. You're about to get a huge download coming in from Pisces because there's a lot of movement in Pisces. Stuff starting to fall out. So this is going to be a pretty huge week, especially for you guys. But I'm going to go through over the course of this video all of you, and I'll wrap back around because sometimes I'll forget. So definitely have a listen for the whole video. Let's start with everything. Let's start with what's going to impact all of you. What is Mars doing? Mars is your ruling dignitary, Aries. So we've got to look at what it is going through right now, where it is, what's happening to it. So where it is where it's been since, I think, October of last year, and that is in Gemini. It's now in the final degrees of Gemini. It's about 24, 25 degrees Gemini. And it's smooth sailing at this point. Mars in Gemini is usually taking action through word, through thought, through education, through learning, going after it academically, going after it verbally, going after it in terms of communication, taking action through words, communications, or educating yourself. It still functions as a Mars though, and I can tell you right now, Mars is in a huge square. Why is it huge? Because Mars is square to the conjunction that's happening early this week at the end of Pisces, which is Neptune conjunct the Sun conjunct Mercury. Or really, the way it should be said, Mercury conjunct the Sun conjunct Neptune. We have these 3 planets that are conjunct right now, and Mercury moves pretty fast. So by Sunday, it will have dropped into Aries. So Sunday, Aries 1, especially those of you born on that Pisces cusp, Mercury is going to conjunct your natal sun. That is bright and brilliant and articulate energy where you will be really certain of what you say, and what you say will have an importance about it. So be aware, Sunday, Monday, that energy is going to really start to have impact on you, and it's really beneficial, actually. Well, I guess conjunctions could also be not so beneficial. People will be listening to what you say. People will be watching your words. So you should watch your words too, and ensure that what you're saying from your heart, because if those 2 things are aligned, this will be very, very good for you. But getting back to Mars square to Neptune, the Sun, and Mercury all together is basically saying to us, now listen, Mars is square to that conjunction, but it's trine to Saturn. All of this energy starts out in Pisces. Saturn stays in Pisces. So what is it really telling us? It's telling us to slow down. It's telling us the hard work is done. It's trying to distract you. It's like the universe is intentionally trying to slow Mars down, even though Mars isn't in a retrograde. And it's not about retrograde. It's about you've done the work, right? So let me, if you feel yourself losing a little momentum or getting lost in daydreams a lot more, and with Mars in this square, it very well could be a challenge to your day, or taking action, or being able to speak or say what you want to say, all because you are kind of dreamy, or losing yourself in dreams, or feeling tired, more tired. This is the energy that's impacting you. And why? And the reason why is because you've done the work. Mars is now trine to Saturn. There's a sense of the work is done. There's the work is in harmony. Like, there's a flow to this right now. So you have time to be distracted, or maybe you have extra time on your hands, right? And what do you do with it? Don't hate yourself for getting distracted, losing yourself in daydreams, because with this kind of energy, there is really a huge impact. It's kind of saying you need to receive. You need to open up your arms, and you need to receive the messages that are going to be coming into you. These are not just daydreams. They're not just dreams. They're redirections. The universe is legitimately trying to redirect you. Ask yourself, Aries, where is my mind wandering? Because when you answer that question, you will know where you really want to be, or who you really want to be with, or how you really want to feel. And I think the dreams are going to be more stronger and more like insistent on those who are farther away from what really makes them happy. The sun being there is really about truth and where your heart really belongs. And I think your dreams are trying to take you there. And with Mercury there, it's articulate. It's very clear. There's almost logic that can be applied to it. So I want you to trust where your mind is wandering, because that's where you're being redirected to, or it's helping you to realize where you really want to be. And if you're not there, it's not that you can't get there, but you do have to acknowledge how much space there is between you and what would really make you happy. And whatever really makes you happy is now where you have to redirect yourself. So, Aries 1. I'm just huge energy. Mercury will conjunct your natal sun by Sunday. The sun will conjunct your natal sun by Monday. And by Tuesday, end of Monday, the moon will also be conjunct your natal suns. You have a new moon on Tuesday, the 21st, and that is it's happening right in conjunction with your natal sun. And that means this is a particularly powerful time for you to start something new, or to get clear on the direction that you want to head in, to take action, and it's almost like a shoo-in that you will manifest. So definitely starting something new around this time is really going to work with that moon magic to put you in those cycles of manifestation and bringing something into reality, especially since all this energy is dropping in from Pisces. You're going from the place of concept, of infinite possibility, to the place of actually being born. It's like, that's the birth canal. That's what I consider the birth canal of the zodiac. Everything that passes from Pisces into Aries is coming from concept, thought, magic, mystery, impossibility, and then all of a sudden it comes into the real world through Aries, and that's where we begin again, right? It's a new start, it's a new beginning, and you guys will be getting an opportunity for a huge new beginning on Tuesday. So definitely hone in that energy and use it. Making it even bigger is your natal suns, Aries 1s, are sextile to Pluto, which means that this new moon is sextile to Pluto. This little gnat keeps flying around. This new moon is sextile to Pluto. You want to talk about new start? You want to talk about an opportunity to legitimately do away with all the old and start brand new and get a new beginning, and be able to just power into a situation. I mean, this is such a powerful time for you. It can't be understated, especially with that sextile to Pluto. The sextile to Pluto conjunction between your natal suns, the current sun, Mercury, and then the moon. This is 100% the most powerfully magical productive time for you that might happen all year. So I would say please take advantage of it. Something new is about to begin for you around that time. It's just about to kick off. Aries 2s. Your natal suns are still conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Chiron. Jupiter is now overtaking Chiron. That's good because it's almost like we're on the other side of the pain. We're on the other side of the struggle. Now we're into how can we use it? What can we do with it? By Wednesday, you will also have the moon. By the 22nd, you will also have the moon conjuncting Jupiter, conjuncting Chiron. That can bring a lot of emotions or emotional release, possibly around finally being able to breathe or feel like there's some hope that has come into your situation. You are also semi-square to Saturn, which means that there is a little bit of a rub, there is a little bit of an irritation or stubbornness in the way of how things have always been done or getting things done or work that you have to do. I don't think this will get in your way. The challenge, the problem is you guys are already conjunct Chiron and now you're also semi-square to Saturn. So there's a lot of irritation around you have to suffer to have earned it. You have to suffer to have earned it. Well, guess what? You have. And now you're starting to come on the other side of that and starting to be able to grow and expand away from this energy that is extremely intense. But do expect Wednesday to be a particularly emotional and pop-off-ish day for you. So it could be very angry. When the moon is in Aries, it does tend to be angry. And maybe if you're just at the boxing gym or something and you just go out a boxing bag, that's a perfect place for you to be able to honor your anger, but be wary that the anger can come out in places that it won't be so appropriate. So just be aware of that. And then we have Aries 3s. Aries 3s, your natal suns are square to Pluto, sextile to Saturn, and sextile to Mars. So that's actually really productive energy. That's actually a lot of opportunity that comes from that. The square to Pluto means that there are just endings or beginnings or extremes that are making things challenging for you. And it's pretty hard it could also be extremes inside yourself. Feelings that you've tried to suppress, things that you've tried to hide, things that you don't want discovered. If things are getting in your way, those things are the things that you've tried to bury. They need to come up. They need to be resurrected. They need to be addressed, not buried. Those are the challenges that are happening, and those are the challenges that are going to get in your face this week. If you are willing to finally confront them, I promise you, this is a week of huge opportunities for you or setting you up for a great deal of progress and success. So overall, this is a big week for all of you, especially those born at the beginning of Aries. But I wouldn't say that it's just for you guys, because all of you are getting so much action. And by the end of this week, by the 22nd, you will have a huge stellium throughout Aries. So we'll have Jupiter and Chiron, we'll have the Sun and Mercury, and we also have the Moon. And by the end of the week, the Moon will be over Aries 3s. So definitely Aries 1s, expect there to be a lot of moodiness and emotion around this new moon. But the new moon, when it's new, it's very open. It's very vulnerable. No. Actually, I don't think it's very vulnerable. I think new moons are extremely powerful because they're not absorbing or reflecting anybody else's light. They're just being, the moon is just being who it is. And so there's a level of sincerity and certainty about the moon. And so when the moon is conjunct the sun, there is a certainty about the self and who you are and what you want out of life. And that sextile to Pluto means you're going to have the courage to make those changes and to end anything that is done and to take action on the things that you know need to start. Powerful new moon for you. But by the end of this week, you'll have the moon, the sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron all in Aries. That's it. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take your nap, because there's so much energy happening all at once in Aries. And Mars is in a pretty interesting position. It's saying, listen, I've done the work. This is sort of the turning point. This is the pop-off point. I would not be surprised if there is just genuine gain on the other side of this week. Please let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to know how all this energy is impacting you. And join me over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your weekly tarot card reading. Aries, I love you all. If you've loved this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. And then ring that notification bell so you know when I upload your favorite content. Aries content comes out every single Thursday. I'll see you guys in the videos.